Hi everyone, I wanted to show you step by step how to do the composition rule of thirds assignment. So for this one, you need your sketchbook, and I've got just a couple of my drawing pencils. I've got the B, which is a little bit softer, and I have also a 2H, which is going to be a little bit harder, more like a pencil that you're normally used to using. So I've got my sketchbook here. You can use a ruler if you'd like to. I tend to not, but if you prefer one, that is totally fine. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to divide your page horizontally and vertically into thirds. So I'm not going to draw a line completely down the center. I'm going to go on the first third of the page, draw a line across, and again that way. It does not have to be perfect. You're just going to draw 2 lines. So I've got 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And then you're going to do the same thing going down this way. It's good enough. It's not quite perfect, but that is all right. And we're going to be drawing a landscape. So that means some sort of a scene from nature. And you're actually going to use these lines as a guide to figure out where to place all your objects. So in the assignment on Schoology, the very first thing is to draw some sort of like mountain. I've switched to my B pencil. It's a little bit softer, so you're not going to get as hard of lines. So I'm just going to draw like kind of like a mountain at random. And I'm going to kind of just shade it in really lightly so you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of using the edge of my pencil. It helps me get kind of like a softer gradient. Perfect. So that's kind of my background shape. It's not like symmetrical or anything. It's kind of just like a mountain. And then your second thing that you're going to do is we're going to follow along this line that I have here. And I'm going to place a tree in my landscape. It's going to be in the foreground, which means closer to the viewer. So I'm actually going to start the trunk right on the center of this line. And I'm just going to draw this kind of like tree shape. You can change the shape as you go if you need to. And then once again, I'm going to shade this in a little bit darker so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm using the edge of my pencil again, and I'm just going to kind of like add a little bit of detail to make this look a little bit more tree-like. Kind of like a little bit of a background. So now that tree is right in front of my mountains. So if you notice, it's kind of like completely lined up with this line here. And that's part of the rule of thirds. So you don't want anything kind of like directly in the center. So if I drew a line directly down the center, it just creates kind of like a more boring type of an artwork. And I'm just going to draw kind of like a long shadow here to show that this tree is on the ground. Okay? Sorry, no, that's like a little bit blurry looking. Alright. And then your next step is to just kind of like create a drawing. So now that you have your kind of like 2 main elements, you could like add some clouds. So I'm using this line here to kind of show me where something else should be. So having something over here kind of balances out my drawing. And then I can also like add maybe a little cloud over here. And then whatever else you want to add to your landscape. So if you want to like shade in your background, you don't need to use color or anything for this. You can just use your pencil. We're just trying to like figure out where to place shapes is the point of this lesson. Okay. You could add another tree. You could add different elements. You could put an animal in here, kind of like have fun with it, whatever you would like to do. Just make sure that you don't add anything directly into the center of this drawing. So follow the rule of thirds, okay?